man that filmed the Tic Tac UFO. At the end of the video we see, the object shoots off to our left. Is that indeed what happened?
Oh yes, it moved with a velocity that I've not seen. That was my weirded out moment. It's not something that I can explain.
What do you think you saw?
All right, so what did he see? Let's bring in UFO enthusiast Jeremy Corbell. We welcome you back to the show. You are always a pleasure to have. So what does he think that he saw? Navy Commander Chad Underwood.
Yeah, that's what's really astonishing. This is 17 years later, and finally, Commander Chad Underwood has come forward publicly on film for the first time with me. He's the man that filmed the Tic Tac UFO that is now the famous Tic Tac UFO. He doesn't know what he saw, but it was not a U.S. black project. That's confirmed. He also confirmed it's not any other nation's black project that we know of. This thing shot off at beyond hypersonic speeds. It actively jammed his weapons and radar system. It's unlike anything that he has ever witnessed before in his entire over 20 years of being an aviator for our military.
So this happened back in 2004. It is now just finally being declassified now. It's called the Tic Tac UFO, not TikTok. That wasn't around back in 2004. And not Tic-Tac-Toe. We're thinking about the breath mint, right?
Yeah, so that's what's really funny. When he did the interview with me, Commander Underwood talked about how he named it the Tic Tac UFO, and he remembered this scene from the movie Airplane where they're talking about a large Tylenol, and he thought that was too ridiculous, so he'd call it a Tic Tac UFO. So that's how he ended up naming it, was based on his sense of humor. Look, he says directly in this interview, we can't take off the table that this is an extraterrestrial vehicle. This is absolutely a propulsion system unlike anything that we have in our military arsenal or that we know of any developed or foreign technological nation. So it's a real mystery. The Tic Tac UFO is the most famous footage of all time now. It's been around the world and confirmed by the Pentagon.
Let's hear from him a little bit more. We have the sound pulled up.
The odds of us being the only life forms that are here is unlikely. As a rational human being, I leave that completely on the table. It has to be. As a logical, rational person, you just kind of have to live with that knowledge and just know that we're probably not the only beings out there.
So you released this video today. This is his first interview on camera. Again, this happened in 2004. Why did he speak to you now?
I think over time, people have learned that they can come to me, as you know from your show and global news over the last 6 months. I have been obtaining and releasing Navy-filmed, bona fide UFO footage that has been confirmed by our Pentagon. So look, people have spread the word. Continue spreading the word. People can come to me because the chain of command can be broken. He came forward now today to show his face and to talk openly about it because he's backing up exactly what the other pilots and aviators talked about. There are craft flying with impunity within our airspace, within our restricted airspace, over and near our nuclear facilities. This is something that the United States government is taking very seriously now, as we know from the UFO report that came out from the Pentagon.
As I'm looking at this, I'm starting to see the Tic Tac and thinking about my.
Well, this is actually the gimbal footage. There's 3 pieces of footage. The one you're showing on the screen is called the gimbal, and then we have the Tic Tac, and we have the Go Fast, and then I released a whole bunch from the USS Omaha and USS Russell. The green flying pyramids, it's green footage, and then the USO, the unidentified submerging object that went into the water.
So talk to us more about what the Pentagon is saying, because they released this report, which a lot of people felt like wasn't very satisfying. What are they saying publicly? What are they saying privately?
And also, how much have they been in touch with Commander Underwood?
Right. So here's the deal, is everybody looked at this report and said, we should know more. Representative government should tell us more about the UFO mystery because certainly our government knows more. But this was the unclassified aspects that the public was able to see. Now, understand, this is step by step. The American public and global public finally understands UFOs are real. This is a technology that is so far beyond anything that we have, and we're seeing them in a restricted airspace globally with impunity. So this is what's happening. Now, that report, the fact it exists is powerful. The fact that representative government is looking to represent the populace of the United States and beyond and saying, this is an issue that we want to know about and we want to learn about, and we know you have more information.
And just a few more seconds left for people who say, you know what, this is 17 years ago. This is not extraterrestrial.
The fact that it was 17 years ago makes us have to understand this technology back then was already outpacing, outmaneuvering, and outperforming our greatest warships and warcraft. So the fact it was so long ago makes it a greater case that it's a technology we don't know where it came from. But just look at the new videos that I released. Look at what I released over the last 3 months. That should show you there's something in the sky, and we need to start asking some major questions.
So when you say UFOs are real, what you mean is there are things that are flying up there that we don't know what they are. We don't know for sure that they're aliens, but there is reason to question, right?
Absolutely, 100%. UFO means unidentified flying object. However, I will say this, is that these technologies are far more advanced than anything the U.S. has ever produced in the theater of war. Whose are they? You tell me. Whose are they?
And your line is weaponize your curiosity, correct?
Absolutely. Everybody should weaponize their curiosity.
Okay.
It's the most important tool that we have, the weapon that we use to walk among this earth. Yep.
All right, Jeremy, you're always fun to have. You can watch the full interview on Jeremy's YouTube site. It's under Jeremy Corbell or on extraordinarybeliefs.com.